This is the plaintiff, Raymond Alvarez. He says he was hired by the defendants after Hurricane Sandy hit to help him build modular homes, and the sleazy guy shortchanged him on his fee. He worked like a dog for 3 straight weeks. What the defendant is doing is unfair, and he's here to stand up and fight for the little guy because he wants the $3,000 he's still owed. This is the defendant, Richard. He says the verbally abusive plaintiff had trouble installing and building a roof, and he had to spend time training him on the job. More importantly, he agreed to work for a certain price and now thinks he deserves more, but a deal is a deal. He even had to call the cops on the plaintiff because he stormed their offices one day, started chest-bumping him, and tried to get him to haul off and smack him. Bottom line, the guy was paid in full and he has no case whatsoever. He's accused of cutting corners. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $1,000 for loss of time.
Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay, Mr. Alvarez, you are suing. You don't want us to use the name of the development or your last name. So you were suing Richard in his capacity as owner of a contracting firm?
Yes.
Okay. For $3,000 in wages, according to you, it's actually more than that. You have a counterclaim against it for $1,000 for wasting your time by filing the lawsuit. Tell me what's going on.
Basically, I was hired to build some decks and some roofs for this company, and I did 5 or 6 jobs for them. The last job I did, they were going to a transition with their job foreman, and they got a new job foreman on the job. I did the job. They asked me to build the roof, the deck, give them a price on that. Okay.
You put in a new roof?
It's a modular home, and I built an A over it with the deck, poles, rails. They asked for a price. Okay, I said, I'm building the deck and the roof, no stairs. Yes, okay. Couple days later, job foreman says, oh no, you're doing the steps now. Fine, I'm making a new contract, adding the steps. Couple days later, oh, you're doing the whole job, you're doing the roof. I said, what do you want me to do, the shingles too? And he said, yeah, you're doing the whole job. I said, I'm not shingling the roof, okay? I got no time, and you guys have your own roofers. He goes, we'll put the ice and water shield on, tar paper, I did that.
Okay, wait. Before you did it, did you have a contract?
I didn't write any contracts up because they kept changing their mind.
It doesn't matter. Then you should be writing 7 contracts. That's exactly when you write. When they change your mind, you write another contract. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what's done. But what I don't understand is this whole case is going to be a dispute about what you were supposed to be paid. So where did you get the idea that you're supposed to be paid $6,000?
Basically, when I finished the job, I made up a contract. In fact,
afterwards?
Yes.
Is that how you guys do business?
No.
Well, where's your contract?
We have a master service agreement.
He signed one beforehand?
Yes.
On this job?
All of the jobs.
Okay, let me see it.
Yes, I did about 6 jobs for him.
Okay. And does this set the price for that? No, right? Because this would predate it.
The individual prices are set at the time that the work is done, and if not, then it is established by fair market pricing. The contract provides.
So that's what this will say, that if
Correct.
okay, but why is a job being, why do you hire him to do something when you don't know what he's going to bill you? Why do you do that?
Well, in this particular instance, we were in a neighborhood after the storm, Superstorm Sandy. And we had 8 homes that we were trying to get done within a period
Somebody messed up, right? Because it doesn't take that long to nail them down to a contract and agree on a price.
In the prior work, we had his proposals, and we converted them to a work release, which is the one page that governs it.
So why didn't you do it in this case? Just say you botched it. Who are you?
We're brothers.
Okay, his brother's leaning over going, just say you botched it. All right. Because this is not the way to do business, because what happens then? Then you're going to end up leaving it to me to decide what it's worth. Correct. Is that what you want to do? I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it. All right, so according to you, you do not reach an agreement with anybody about what you're going to get paid. You just go do the work, and then what happens?
Your Honor, I priced $2,500, build the deck with the roof over it, okay? No decking, okay? Then they call me back a month later, the job foreman, Oh, we need you to come back and put the decking on. So I gave a separate bill for that for $600. Oh no, the decking should be included with the deck. So I got screwed for $600 because they keep changing their mind.
Then you tell me that in order to prove what? That you are a complete idiot for doing the job without a contract.
Correct.
I mean, it makes it worse, right?
It's hard to give a contract when they have so many bosses and change their mind so many times.
What it's hard is to say no to the green. That's what it's hard. To the money that's coming your way. That's what's hard. So I know what's going on. Yes. I am the daughter of a contractor and the sister of a contractor. I know exactly what's going on. All right. Now, let's get to the meat and potatoes here. Tell me about this. What did you build here?
My payroll, I worked there 3 weeks on this project. My payroll was $3,500 I paid to my guys. They paid me $3,750, okay?
For this job?
Yeah. I mean, $250 for 3 weeks of work. And then they tell me the quality work wasn't there. The one brother told me, I don't even know what he thought, the market rate or something like that. And I got that.
How did they who determines the market rate? Will you do me a favor? I'm going to hand this back to you, and will you circle the market rate thing so I don't have to read 20 pages single space?
And I found that out because they sent me a text.
So who's the brother? The payer is the brother?
Rob sent me a text saying, we're paying you $3,750, that's it.
Okay. What happened on this job? What was...
Your Honor, this is a rendering of the exact house, and the area that's in question is this porch on the right-hand side and the roof that's over the porch.
Okay. And then you have the part about if we don't determine, then it's market value. I don't even need that because that is what it is. I mean, that would be...
I also have pictures of the job.
That's what I would do. That's what a judge does. If there's no amount agreed upon, then I set a correct market value of it. All right. Now, let me ask you a question. He talks to you. He says, what do you mean you're going to pay me $3,750? Because you get the bill. And the bill was for how much?
$6,800.
$6,800. So... you tell him, I'm not paying you that. Did you have a problem with his job or just that you thought that the fee was too high?
Everything he had done previously, I was fine with his pricing. When I saw this price, I sent him a text. I said, Ray, this is crazy. This is a $3,500.
Why was it crazy?
Hold on. Yeah, I'm asking you, why do you think it was crazy?
I've been doing this a long time, 30 years. And what he did is not $6,800 worth of labor cost. I provided all the materials, even the nails and screws. He just provided labor. I even provided our generator, so he had gas. I mean, we paid for gas.
I got my own generator.
Stop interrupting.
Stop doing it, please. So I said to him, I've talked to my other subs. $3,500 to $4,000 was a range of where this should have been in. I said, I'm going to give you $3,750 for it.
So he finds out that you don't want to pay him, and then it gets ugly. Tell me what happens.
I was in the office, and it was early in the morning, around 9 o'clock. And as I was walking from my back service area back to my office, the plaintiff and another gentleman had walked into the door, and they asked to speak to me. And he said he was here to be paid. He said, well, your brother's offering me too little, and he said that he has to speak to you for a large amount, and I'm not leaving without my money. So he started to get quite belligerent, and I asked him to leave the office because we had outside visitors. And they were sitting literally as this gentleman to me. And I asked him to leave, and he said he wouldn't leave, and he began to get very loud. And the gentleman that was with him got into it as well. And I said, you know what, if you're not going to leave the office, I will call the police. They said, call the police. So I turned to my office administrator, Diane, and I said, Diane, call the police. With that, I walked into my office, closed the door.
Did you lock it?
Doesn't lock.
Okay. Which you just found out that day. Okay.
It doesn't even close well.
Okay.
So I'm sitting at my desk, and he gets close to the door, and he starts yelling to me to come out and address us like a man. So with that, I walked out, and I said, so you don't think I'm addressing this right? And he came up to me, and it was the chest bumping. Come on, hit me.
Like real chest bumping?
Yes, ma'am.
His chest made contact with your chest?
No.
His chest made contact with your belly?
It was a little bit of movement up.
It was a little up.
A little bit of movement up, but he got into my face. I yelled at him, get out of my office. The police are coming. He said, so you're spitting on my face? I said, no, I'm not spitting on your face. I'm talking to you, telling you to get out of my office. He said, I'm not leaving without being paid. I said, fine, the police will be here. As he began to yell to me to hit him, I said, I am not going to hit you. I'm not stupid. At about that point, the police cars came around into the parking lot, And as they saw the policeman walking up the sidewalk, they began to walk out. 2 officers responded. One intercepted them as they walked out, walked into the parking lot. The other came into my office. At that point, I explained exactly what had transpired. I have a copy of the police report, and we explained to the officer what our position was. He said, fine, let me go out and see if I can get this resolved.
So the officer came to talk to you, and you told him your version. What did the
Yeah.
cops tell you?
Basically, I went down there because I faxed them the contract.
But you faxed him your bill.
Yes.
Right.
I wait a week, nothing. I called back another week. I called like 3, 4 times, nobody. And so I had to go down there. And the guy I went down there was my brother.
But hold on. By the time you go down there, had you already been told by him, we're not paying you that?
He sent me a text saying you're getting $37.50. He did say,
Right, so
I'll talk to my brother.
It sounds like you went down there in order to tell them, I want the rest of my money. I don't want just $37.50.
I didn't get anything. I didn't get a penny.
I know you didn't, because you weren't agreeing to the $37.50.
I went down there to get whatever. Rob sent me a text.
How tall is your brother? Is your brother a big guy?
Yeah, he's a little big.
Okay.
He's a retired trooper.
He's a retired trooper?
But he works with me, okay? He went with me. He works for my company.
Right.
Okay.
All right,
I didn't
so
go down there to
what
muscle
happens that
nobody.
day? All right, so what happens? Well, he says you were chest bumping him and that you were right in front of his office door and that there were people there.
I wasn't
That didn't
chest
happen?
bumping him. Look at him.
Did you tell him to hit you?
He was spitting on me, yelling in my face. Like, what are you going to do, hit me? I wasn't going to hit him.
Did you
It looked
keep
like you
telling
were
him,
gonna
hit me, hit me, hit me? I want to own your company, hit me.
It's just,
Did you tell him to hit you?
I didn't say hit me.
All right,
I'm
so
not sure
now the
exactly.
police come, and what happens with the police?
They just said, one guy went in, talked to them, said, listen, Ray, come back tomorrow. He'll cut you the check for $37.50. And he goes, the rest of the money that you're gonna have to take it up in lawsuit court. I said, all right, no problem.
Okay, you have
So
a little bit different version of what happened.
Yes.
What do you say happened?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So if I say to you, I'm not leaving your property until I get paid, and you say, leave my property, and I say no, can you call the police and get me arrested?
Well, you know what? Absolutely. I think you absolutely can get arrested, and I think they should go to jail.
You think so? Can you get arrested if you legitimately believe you're owed money and you're not going to leave until you get it?
Absolutely. It's not my responsibility to pay them. It's the company.
Well, no. Look, my point is that if you own the business, can you say, get out or get off my property? Even if you owed them money, could you say, get off my property now and call the police if they don't?
Yeah, they can leave now. You can pay them later, but it's your property, and they can get paid later.
I'm with you on this one. Going inside the courtroom.
As we explained it to the officer said, okay, I understand what you're saying. Let me go out and talk. So they went out, and about 10 minutes later, he came back, and he said, okay, he'll accept the $37.50. I said, fine, but he has to sign our contract, which is the work release, and has to sign a lien waiver. Came back, and he said, fine, he'll do that. And the plaintiff came back the next morning. He signed the lien release.
Hand me that.
And we gave him the check, which is within this package. Here is the...
Are you saying he signed a release of liability?
Yes, ma'am.
To sue you?
Yes, ma'am. And the contract also requires him to indemnify us for any claims that he may take contrary to that.
I couldn't get one penny.
Hold on. Okay. So on the day that they give you the $3,750, you sign a waiver saying you're not going to sue them. Right?
I didn't see that paper. I know I signed it.
You signed
It's
that
the
paper.
only-
What do you mean you didn't see it? It's the only paper you had to
know
sign.
It was a lien paper, but they
It's entitled Subcontractor Final Waiver of Lien and Release. And in the first sentence, the undersigned does hereby expressly and voluntarily waive and release any and all claims and liens.
I wanted some money for all the money I laid out.
I know, so does
and I
everybody
didn't-
else when they settle. The problem is everybody else when they settle understands that this is a contract that
Yeah,
they've
I
entered
didn't know
into.
that I couldn't sue after that. They had me over a barrel. It's like,
says
you
to-
don't sign this, you're not getting no
over a
money.
barrel. There's cops there. There's no barrel involved. You just wanted the money. But the problem is that's what a settlement is. You give a little, they give a little, then, it's resolved. If you don't want to give a little, then stand by your principle and go to court and sue. But you didn't want to do that. You wanted to get that money. That's what a settlement is. I find it hard to believe that you wouldn't know what you were signing when you were signing it. Your complaint says, in order to get the $37.50, they made me sign something. And then they gave me the check and I left. I knew what they did wasn't right, though, so I filed. That sounds like you know darn well. You just don't know the law. But you know what you were signing.
Probably don't know the law, to be honest with you, but...
Now, your counterclaim against them is $1,000 because your time's wasted. What do I get? If I get anything, I am going to deny your counterclaim. On your claim against them, 0. Okay? That's my verdict. My judgment's for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's get some reaction from the plaintiff coming out here into the hallway. What do you have to say about this outcome?
What are you gonna do? You live and learn. You know?
And knowing what you sign?
Wouldn't do that again.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Okay, right around the corner this way. All right, come on in here. And this is the guy that you claim was trying to intimidate you physically? This guy?
Trying to get the best of me.
Trying? What happened there?
I used common sense and called the police.
Mm-hmm. All right, what's your feeling on how the judge had a rule here?
Very appropriate.
Right, and your countersuit? I don't want to take up much of your time. Yeah. I know it's very valuable.
Well, no, I can't question it. She's very fair. I can't question it.
All right. Harvey?
Well, when you're in a pay dispute and you sign a settlement agreement, you know what? Tough luck. It is over. That's why when somebody asks you to sign something like that, I don't care how hard it is, you have to read it. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.